All right, we're live. All right, I gotta make this one quick 'cause it's getting kind of late. But here's the main things that I want to go over. What I've already talked about a bunch. Give me a second while I switch tabs here. All right, what I've already talked about a bunch is this World Series is definitely connected to this guy, Masanori Murakami, who's the first ever Japanese baseball player in MLB. He was born on May 6, 1944. And that's significant because 1944 was a leap year, which means it was the 127th day of the year. All right, of course, we know the attack on Pearl Harbor was on 12/7. And of course, Bavarian Illuminati equals 127 right there. It also equals 80. This guy is 80 years old right now. All right. And there's something significant about his birthday until, what was it? Maybe it was from the previous day. Okay, we'll touch on that later. I can't remember what it was. There's definitely something about from his birthday until Pearl Harbor, but maybe it was the 7 months in one day, Catholic 71. I can't remember now, but we'll come back to him later. The next thing, the Treaty of San Francisco established peace relations between Japan and the Allied powers on behalf of the United States. This was on the 8th of September, 1951. Okay. Masanori Murakami went 5-1 in MLB. And he played for San Francisco. That was the only MLB team he played for, was San Francisco. And this treaty between Japan and the Allies was in 51. It was on the day leaving 114 days left in the year. Just to show you here, September 8, 1951 is the day leaving 114 days left in the year. All right, why is that important? Because Pearl Harbor equals 114. All right, what also equals 114 is World War. Like how they say that Pearl Harbor is what got the U.S. involved in World War II. World War II is also 60 and 66, like Pearl Harbor. Then Art of War. It's also another 114. Art of War is also 51. Interesting enough. Of course, we know the Illuminati was founded on May 1st by, where does it say his name? Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt. I can spell his name right. There's another 51. All right, anyways, back to this treaty, September 8th, 1951, but it became effective on April 28th, 1952. So if we go until, that's 233 days later. 233 is the 51st prime. Another 51. And this is also the 119th day of the year because 1952 was a leap year. And if we write out Treaty of San Francisco equals 119. All right. And also another thing about, I'll just pull up the Gematria attack on Pearl Harbor here. We'll focus more on it later, but we'll come back to 116 in a little bit. But what do I talk about next? So I guess I can talk about Hideo Nomo. Hideo Nomo, I'm finding out he's 56 years old right now. He was the first ever Japanese pitcher to throw a no-hitter in MLB. And he did so on 17th of September. 179 is the 41st prime. Again, Pearl Harbor was in 1941. And, oops, so where am I going? They don't know what here is. Let me pull them over here. Okay, September 17th, let's just do this. September 17th, 1996. Let's go until the Pearl Harbor anniversary. All right, we were just talking about 114. That was 11 weeks and 4 days before Pearl Harbor, before the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. And September 17th is also the day leaving 105 days left in the year. And we were just talking about 114 just a few minutes ago. How is it? I always forget. Is it V? No, is it just Illuminati? Sorry, wait. No, is it? Did I already have it in here? Hold on. No, it's not Bavaria. Is it Order of Illuminati? Sorry, Order of Illuminati is 105. My bad. Order of Illuminati 105. First ever no-hitter thrown by a Japanese player is on the day leaving 105 days left in the year, 11 weeks and 4 days before the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. It's also 81 days, and didn't get in there. Was it? The Illuminati is 81, as you see there. The Illuminati is also 63. We're going to talk about 63 later on as well. But what's interesting about him is, I'm going to switch tabs. I talked about this earlier in the year, and I made the wrong connection, but where is the... Where did I talk about? I mentioned the... Okay, here it goes. The first no-hitter of the year was thrown by number 56, Ronel Blanco. He threw 105 pitches. And if you look up Ronel, it was Ronel Blanco's birthday. So we're going to pull up Ronel Blanco again. I'm going to spell his name right. Ronel Blanco, the guy who threw the first no-hitter this year. He has the same birthday as Hideo Nomo. Again, and he wears number 56. Hideo Nomo is 56 years old right now. Let's see what he lost 109 games in MLB. Well, 109, that's an important number for this year as well. Yeah, number 56. We'll talk about 56 as well. Next thing we want to talk about. So we just spent a few minutes talking about 51, 114, and 105, right? We know we've come to the conclusion that the attack on Pearl Harbor was this huge Illuminati ritual on 12/7. There's also something, what was the date? I forget, what was the date numerology of Pearl Harbor? Because there was something, oh, it was on 60 date numerology. That's right. Yeah, and Pearl Harbor equals 60. But okay. Next, we're going to move on to Ichiro, who I talked about last week. He wore number 51. And look at the date numerology of his birthday. He was born on 105 date numerology, okay? Again, war number 51, and born on 105 date numerology, all right? Now, it's unclear when exactly Ichiro signed his first contract with the Mariners. I found two separate answers, but because here it says it was November of 2000, but then up here it'll say it was January 5th, and that's also the 5th of January, another 5/1. Let me see how many days after his birthday that was. So yeah, 10 weeks and 5 days after his birthday. Yep, that makes sense. 10 weeks and 5 days after his birthday, of course. Why not? And if you, where's the, let's see if it talks about how much the contract was. Maybe not there. So, here's 3-year, $14 million contract, okay? Attack on Pearl Harbor. 314. Is that a coincidence? No, it is not. I actually do want to see how many days. Let's go back to his birth year. How many days before the anniversary of Pearl Harbor was his birthday? 6 weeks and 4 days, 46 days. Right, Ichiro Suzuki. Oh well, Attack on Pearl Harbor is 190. Yeah, Attack on Pearl Harbor is 199. That's the 46th prime. Yeah, and his birthday is 46 days before Pearl Harbor. Yeah, and also Ichiro Suzuki 169. I felt like there's another 169 in here. I can't remember though. Okay, but he was also born. Whoops. He was also born 169 days after Masanori Murakami's birthday. I feel like there was another 69, and I'm just blanking on it now, but that's okay, whatever. But okay, so we've got all that established. Now we'll jump forward a bit. Actually, no, before we jump forward, we're going to talk about the 2001 playoffs. Let's look at here, we'll just do this. 2001 Seattle Mariners, okay? So they finished the season with 116 wins. They finished the regular season with 116 wins. Okay, it's being a little slow. I have too many tabs open. But where was I? Yeah, Attack on Pearl Harbor. Oops. Attack on Pearl Harbor 116. And they have the Japanese player, perhaps the greatest Japanese player ever on their team. They won 116 games in the regular season. Give me a break. Come on. And that's the same year as 9/11, which was the new Pearl Harbor. And speaking of 9/11, that was 41 days, or 5 weeks and 6 days, or 1 month and 11 days before Ichiro's birthday. And of course, we have 9/11 was on 41 date numerology. We had President number 41 exactly 11 years beforehand to talk about the New World Order. 5 weeks and 6 days, we know Society of Jesus is 56. The 3 planes that hit their targets. The flight number sum up to 263, which is the 56th prime, and it was 26 weeks and 3 days after Osama bin Laden's birthday. You get the point. All right, and then what happened was they won 3 games in the next round. So they had 119 wins, and 9/11, 119, and Treaty of San Francisco, 119. And then they only won 1 game in the ALCS against the Yankees, which meant that they finished the season on 120 wins. Again, Oh, maybe I don't. I guess I don't have it up here. Illuminati 120. Okay, there we go. Perfectly scripted for them to win. You know, something that I was actually thinking about is if we were around, if we were doing this work back then. I mean, I was only 4 years old, so I would have been able to comprehend it. But if people were doing this work back then, they could have seen, oh, you know, if the Mariners win the World Series, they'll get 127 wins. But no, instead it was the Diamondbacks that won the World Series, and the Diamondbacks finished that year with 103 wins. And Osama bin Laden was born on 10/3. And then when the 119th World Series came around last year, the Rangers also finished the season with 103 wins. Uh, yeah, and they won out 11-1. And the 2000, actually, I do want to talk about this a little bit. Yeah, this finished on what's his name's birthday, on Ichiro's birthday. But the 2001 World Series started on 10/27, like 127, and finished on 11/4. All right. Bavarian Illuminati 127, Pearl Harbor 114. And in Pearl Harbor is the USS Arizona that was sunk. Just look that up. Arizona. Yeah, USS Arizona. Of course, USS Arizona was decommissioned on 12/29, 201st prime. Yeah, I think USS Arizona also has. Yeah, USS Arizona is also 127. Yeah, and it's also 64, like how 9/11 was. No, sorry, not 9/11. Pearl Harbor was 6 weeks and 4 days. Or I should say Ichiro's birthday is 6 weeks and 4 days before the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. I forget, is Arizona the 48th state? Arizona. Yes, it is the 48th state. Okay. Yeah, and 48, where's the 48 in here? Illuminati 48. We'll talk about 48 as well. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's jump ahead to the 209th, or not the 209th, the 2009 World Series, which was the 105th edition. This was the last time the Yankees were in the World Series. And the Yankees won 100, look at that, they won 103 games in the regular season, and then they won 11 more in the playoffs. They went 11-4 in the playoffs to win the World Series on 11/4, winning their 114th game, or getting their 114th win of the season. And the MVP was a Japanese player, Hideki Matsui. Here you go. And Hideki Matsui, we were talking about 51. He made his professional debut in the NPB on 5/1. And yeah, he was born. He was born just what, like 7 or 8 months after Ichiro? Not too long. But there was something about. Let's just go 1974 until. Shoot, was it? Right. So he was also born a span of 179 days before the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. And also, Pearl Harbor, it was at the time of the attack, I think it may have already been December 8th in Japan. I'm not, yeah, because I think the time difference between I think the time difference between Japan and in the U.S. Let me just look up the Japan time. Right, it's 1:21 p.m. So that means right now it's 11:21 p.m. So they're 14 hours ahead of here, and so that means if they're 14 hours ahead of here, that means we're in daylight saving time right now. That means it's 15 hours when it's not daylight saving time because Japan doesn't observe daylight saving time. So if we add 15 hours and then add So we add 4 hours from here because Hawaii is 4 hours behind here. So that means it would have been around noon here, which means it would have been 2 a.m. the next day in Japan. Yeah, so it was already December 8th when it was in Japan. Now, of course, it wasn't in Japan, but the attack was by the Japanese, and it means that the Japanese people would have been waking up to the news of it that morning. Yeah, 179, 41st prime. You know, the first Japanese player to throw a no-hitter did so on 17/9. I think he also threw another no-hitter at one point too, right? Yeah, I did that on 4/4. There was a 44 in here. I can't remember where it was. Maybe not. Oh, no, USS Arizona 44. Huh. Huh, so that was right after Ichiro's debut. That was like 2 days after Ichiro's debut. Interesting. Hold on, 4/4. I'm actually kind of interested in this. 4/4 to 8/31. Let me see about that. 4/4, 2001 to 8/1, 2001. It's the 35th prime. Wrong direction. 666. I don't know. Okay, I have to look more into. I think isn't no hitter. No hitter is 44. Yeah, no hitter is 44, and it's funny because his last name was Nomo, and sounds a lot like No No. I remember when I wasn't watching baseball when I was 4 years old, but I do remember like later in life hearing about this, and they're like Nomo threw a no no, and I'm like that sounds kind of weird. But anyways, we're gonna move on from him. Back to the Matsui in the 2009 World Series. So I said this World Series ended on 11/4. Again, they went 11-4 in the playoffs, winning it at on 11/4, getting 114 wins on the season. That was the 105th World Series. Also, if you write out 9/11, it's 105 and 51 and 48. Yeah, look at that. 9/11. I think we know who was behind that. Yeah, 105th World Series, 114 wins, winning it on 11/4, going 11-4 in the playoffs, and his birthday 6/12/2002, 11-4. Yeah, I mean Hideki Matsui is probably going to throw out the first pitch at the. He's probably going to throw out the first pitch at Game 3 of the World Series. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. He also hit 507 home runs. November 4th is the day leaving 57 days left in the year. World Series is 57. Yeah, it was the anniversary of the Yankees losing the 2001 World Series 57. Hideki Matsui, I think his name is also 57. Yeah, it is. His name is also 129, which we know is 201 and base 8. Okay, now we'll talk about this season. We spent a lot of time talking about history, but now it's time to focus on this season. Okay, let's scroll down a bit here. Okay, first no-hitter of the year. This is always a clue. It's thrown by number 56, Ronel Blanco, as I mentioned, on 4/1. He threw 105 pitches. And again, those numbers are significant right now because I'm losing my breath. Just look up, what's the best way of looking this up? The 2012 World Series. All right, 98 plus 5 or 98 plus 7 is 105. Dodgers on 105 wins right now. If the Yankees win the World Series, they'll get their 105th win of the season. Again, LA is 41. First no-hitter was on 4/1. 105 pitches. Number 56. If the Dodgers do win the World Series, Dave Roberts, this isn't... Did they change something in here? Could have sworn that 15 plus 8, 23, 25, 25 plus 13 is 38 plus 44, 45. Yeah, okay, so this is not correct. This is supposed to be 52. If the Dodgers win if the Dodgers win 4 more games this postseason, Dave Roberts will get his 56th playoff win. And Dave Roberts is, of course, half Japanese. He was born in Japan. He's half Japanese. And, of course, Dave Roberts' defining moment of his career came against the Yankees in the 2004 playoffs. That's what everyone remembers him for. Well, I guess they either remember him for that or for, like, I don't understand how, to be honest, I don't understand how Dave Roberts still has a job. Like, I just remember, I didn't know sports were scripted back then, but I remember watching this 2017 World Series, and Dave Roberts just made, like, the dumbest pitching moves. He would, like, pull starters after, like, 4 innings, made, like, terrible bullpen decisions. It made no sense. I remember, like, thinking, like, damn, like, did, like, the Dodgers, like, really want to win this World Series? Let's see if they talk about it. Yeah, look, Rich Hill struck out 7 guys in 4 innings, and then he was replaced after 4 innings. Like, what the heck? You're shutting them down. I mean, they're only down 1-0. Yeah, and then the bullpen came on and blew it, basically. They're up 3-1. Then they lost. Okay, whatever. But anyways, he can get his 56th playoff win as a manager. And if we go from his birthday, just go until tomorrow. Yeah, as Zach has pointed out a million times, the World Series starts 147 days after his birthday. World Series 147. If the Dodgers win it in Game 6, which I think is a very interesting possibility, that will be 5 months and 1 day after his birthday, in light of all the 51 Japan connections that we've been talking about. I think that would make a lot of sense. And what's significant about that is it's also wrong day. It is 179 days after the first Japanese MLB player's birthday, Masanori Murakami. And of course, we know 179 is the 41st prime. LA is 41. Pearl Harbor was in 41. And again, he's 80 years old right now. Bavarian Illuminati 80. Illuminati 120, 120th World Series. The Dodgers are currently 3-8 against the Yankees in the World Series all time. And if the Dodgers do win in Game 6, they'll be 11-6 in this year's playoffs. And that would put them at 6-3. I felt like I mentioned 63. That would put them at 6-3 against the Yankees for the year. That is the narrative that I'm leaning is Dodgers in 6. However, there are a couple, and because I was talking about like 114 and 105, if the Yankees do win the World Series, they'll get their 105th win of the season. And if they do win it in Game 6, they will go 11-4 in the playoffs. Yeah, that's correct. So that's also something to think about. But the big thing here, the Dodgers have their playoff record. They have 116 wins right now as the LA Dodgers. As I said, since 1958. So since they moved to LA, they have 116 wins in the playoffs. Tack on Pearl Harbor 116. Which means if they win 4 more, they'll get 120. It would make a lot of sense for them to win their 120th, the other 120th playoff game to win the 120th World Series. I mean, that does make the most sense to me. Again, I guess it is possible that they could finish on 118. Los Angeles, California does equal 118. It is also possible that maybe they'll win it in 7 because Dodgers is 117. But my primary pick is to win it in Game 6 on 11/1. Again, New York is a 111. New York 111. $39-33, huh? +4, +2. Is that not 33 and 39? I think we see what you're talking about. And then there was something significant about Ohtani's birthday. I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, it's 119 days after Ohtani's birthday. Yeah, it also has 56 date numerology. All right. That's what they do. Let me check the chat here for a second. I don't know if anyone's up this late, but okay, yeah, no one's. That's fine. I don't really feel like talking to anyone right now. If there is one thing I do want to, I know I did this in my initial playoff preview. I do want to go back and watch the this video because I feel like
on December 9th, 2023, Shohei
I feel like there is some stuff in this video that I probably didn't catch on to at the time because I probably wasn't aware of all the Illuminati stuff, but I do want to go back and watch this now that I know more information.
Ohtani signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. This was a date with 44 numerology, and Shohei Ohtani equals 193, the 44th prime.
Shit, what was it? It was, I think, the World Series this year. Just go from tomorrow until. Oh, okay, no, it's not. It's a span of 44 days before Pearl Harbor. Okay. It's also 1 month and 13 days. Los Angeles CA 113.
He signed 157 days after his 29th birthday, and Los Angeles equals 109 and 37. 109 is the 20.
The Dodgers came into the playoffs. If we just go back one. They won 3 games in the first round, 4 games in the second round. That means they had 109 playoff wins as the LA Dodgers entering this postseason. And 98 plus 11 is 109. Get the. Are they going to get 109 wins this year?
29th prime, and 157 is the 37th prime. This was also 22 weeks and 3 days after his birthday, and his contract is worth $700 million, which equals 223. That's been a huge number this year, as Skull and Crossbones equals 223, and here we are to finish 2023.
And 223 is the 48th prime. Are the Dodgers going to become 4-8 against the Yankees in the World Series?
3. The deal was signed 110 days before MLB opening day. We already know that this past MLB season was heavily connected to 9/11, since it was the 119th World Series.
There's one thing that I forgot to mention. Perhaps Ohtani's greatest, I'm not going to say greatest moment, but his most well-known moment, I'll say, was winning the 2023 World Baseball Classic. You go down here, yeah, this is the final. Ohtani got the save. I think he won MVP. Yeah, he won MVP. Again, this was on the 80th day of the year. Again, a very Illuminati 80. This guy is 80 years old right now. Yeah, not a coincidence. This was on 80th day of the year.
And the world connected MLB opening day 20.
Actually,
since it was the 100 tall, were designed by Japanese-American architect Minoru Yamasaki. The deal was signed 5 weeks.
Hold on. How many days after his birthday did he die? That's 31, 62 plus 6. Yeah, he died 68 days after his birthday. Shohei Ohtani, 68. Shohei Ohtani is also 193. Yeah, I mentioned that at the beginning, didn't I? Yeah, 68 right there.
American architect Minoru Yamasaki. The deal was signed 5 weeks and 3 days after the conclusion of the 119th World Series.
53.
And Los Angeles equals 53. Yamasaki.
Hold on, okay, let's just go back there for a second.
119th World Series, and Los Angeles.
Shoot, I can't remember. There's something I saw at 241 earlier. There's something that was like 24 weeks in one day, but now I can't remember what it was. Was it like Ohtani's birthday until? Oh yeah, that's interesting. That Ohtani's birthday is a span of 156 days before Pearl Harbor. 9/11, the 156th prime. Oh, shoot, there was something about. Oh, was it Hideki Matsui's birthday until Pearl Harbor? No, I can't remember what it was. I definitely saw it 241. Now I'm blanking on what it was. Was it like Ichiro's birthday until no, it wasn't. Oh, I didn't realize Ichiro's birthday is. Wait, Ichiro's birthday is 233 days before Matsui's? Is that really the case? How did I don't know, I didn't catch that before. Yeah, I didn't. Ichiro's birthday is 233 days before Matsui's birthday, 51st prime, in light of the Treaty of San Francisco taking effect 233 days after it was signed. Wow. I don't think that's a coincidence. Still trying to find that. He was born on a 111 date numerology. No surprise, New York 111. That's who he played for. And I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I forget what the 241 was.
Los Angeles equals 53. Yamasaki also designed the twin Century Plaza Towers in LA, which are 44 stories tall. Ohtani hit 44 home runs last year. They opened in 19.
Right, again. Shohei Ohtani, 193, the 44th prime. And the World Series. Oops. World Series will begin a span of 44 days before Pearl Harbor.
In 75, and Ohtani was born on 7/5. Yamasaki died at age 73, 67 days after his birthday. And Los Angeles Dodgers equals 73, and Los Angeles CA and Ohtani both equal 67. This was a span of 68 days, reminding us that World Trade Center construction began in 1968, and Ohtani's contract will officially have $68 million deferred per year from 2034 to 2043. While he initially signed his deal on December 9th, his contract was finalized on the 11th, 110 days after Ohtani played his last game with the Angels. The first MLB game next year will actually be on March 20th, featuring the Dodgers and Padres in Seoul, South Korea. He signed 102 days before then, and 9/11 lasted 102 minutes. March 20th will have 67 date numerology and will be the 80th day of the year as Yamasaki
There's the 80th day of the year again.
equals 80. This will be a span of 30 weeks before his birthday, and Los Angeles CA equals 113, the 30th prime.
Yeah, and if I didn't mention already, World Series will start a span of 1 month and 13 days for Pearl Harbor. And I don't think I mentioned this yet, but if the World Series does end on November 1st, that will be 5 weeks and 1 day before Pearl Harbor. And it'll also be 5 months and 1 day after Dave Roberts' birthday, which I already mentioned. And 51's been this huge number with Japanese players in MLB. And okay.
Ohtani was born on July 5th, the day leaving 179 days left in the year. 179 is the 41st prime, and LA and Los Angeles CA both equal 41.
And 179 days after Murakami's birthday. Was there anything else? I think that was it. There's probably another 179 that I can't remember right now, but
Do you really think it's a coincidence that he spent his MLB career playing for the two LA teams? Remember, 9/11 was called the New Pearl Harbor, which was when the Japanese allegedly attacked a U.S. naval base in 1941.
all right. I think that's good enough. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. See you later.